Dr. Nora here. Now, I just wanted to share with you today what happened at work and how honoured I am actually as a doctor, or as a human being, to be a doctor firstly, but also to share my knowledge with you. I am in such a privileged state, and I just want to tell you how honourable it is for me, and I feel it's just such a privilege. And today was one of those days where I felt it even more, and I just want to share with you exactly what happened. So in the morning, I had my regular patients, just usual sort of medical stuff, getting through the day, diabetes, lungs, etc., all of that sort of stuff. And then I had already planned a diabetes workshop with the pharmacy, and that was going to take place from 1 till 2. And to be honest, I kind of went in, and they had sent me an email already, but I hadn't received that email, and nobody had forwarded me that email, so I didn't really know what I was going to expect. But I knew that I had to talk from 1 till 2 about diabetes to an audience. I didn't know how many people were going to be in the audience, but with a pharmacist and also a dietitian. So I've recently done a YouTube series of diabetes videos online, which are easily accessible for you if you want to watch them. It tells you sort of what diabetes is, how it's managed and so on. So anyway, I kind of went in there thinking, you know what, if anything, I'll just say exactly what I know already about diabetes and share my knowledge with everyone that was there. So I arrived at 1 o'clock. I had my lunch already, and the dietitian was there, and she set up a really nice table of lots of foods, very colourful, and there was probably an audience of about 20, I'd say, all different ages, from children up until sort of grandparents, sort of 70, 75-year-olds. It was really nice mixture. So the dietitian spent the first half an hour talking about her subject, which was diet and diabetes, which I have to say was really interesting, and I learned a few things or two from her speech as well. And I thought it was really good to have your sort of a multidisciplinary team on board, just kind of telling diabetics what to do. For example, like she went through GI foods, like low GI and high GI, and she said that so obviously you want to have a low GI food because that makes it sort of wear off or burns it off throughout the whole of the day. So if you're having corn cakes or corn thins just by themselves, they are classified as a high GI food, even though you'd see that they're quite healthy. But if you add in a bit of protein with the corn thin or the corn cake, then it makes it a low GI food because you're getting that release of carbohydrate throughout the day or throughout a few hours, which I thought was really interesting actually. And then it was my turn. And I thought to myself, well, how am I going to start this off? So I thought, okay, you know what? Introduce myself. This is who I am. There's a couple of my patients in the audience, so I was like, yeah, that's cool. My patients are here too. And I sort of started off by saying, well, what is diabetes? I mean, it's all very well, we're talking about diabetes, but what is it? Because they have that higher amount of sugar going around their body, that sugar can interfere with the small blood vessels in your body. So I kind of got a gauge of who was in the audience in terms of who has diabetes and who's just there just for information. And so I had one lady who was there just because she wanted to know, and she was kind of in the pre-diabetic stage, and she just wanted to get an idea of what to do so she could avoid it. So anyway, I went through some interesting statistics to them, and I told them that 1.7 million people are diagnosed with diabetes in Australia, and given that we are at a population of 24 million, that's quite a high percentage. Then I broke it down even more, and I said, 1 out of 14 people are going to have diabetes, and looking at this handful of people here in the room, we can already see there's a couple of people who are affected. And then, we went into sort of talking about the different types of diabetes, and we went into type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, but I made it really interactive as well. And I said to them, well, what's insulin? We're talking about insulin, but what actually is it? So then I had a clever person in the group say, what's a hormone? I said, well, what's a hormone? So really breaking it down nice and easy and clear and concise. And we went through all of it, and we talked about sort of why, having no insulin in your body can lead to having high sugar levels and what impact that has on you as per symptoms. And honestly, the sweetest thing was looking at their faces in the audience. They were like, oh, that's why. And it was as if things were clicking, like they could understand why it was that people would be having these symptoms and why it was that people would be needing treatment and so on. So I feel like I contributed to their education, and obviously there were people there who were diabetics, and I asked them to share their stories with the rest of the group, and that added like a really nice learning experience for them. So then we went through type 1 and type 2, who it affects, what the treatment is, how to manage it, and then what the complications are. And then I importantly said, what to expect from your doctor. So we went through sort of all the blood tests and things that they should be having, and some of them will say, oh my gosh, my doctor doesn't give me those. So I said, well, come and see me, I work around the corner. And so some of them were like, okay, we're coming to see you, we're going to transfer our notes. But yeah, and then we spoke about sort of what to do if you have a low sugar, what symptoms to expect, what complications you can avoid as well. And we spoke about sort of retinal screening, which is screening behind the eyes. And I just felt like, and I did this all probably in about 20 minutes or so, because I knew I was pressed for time. But I did it in a way, and I felt that I did it in a way that was easy to comprehend. Like, everybody was so clear about it that they didn't even have any questions towards the end. And there were some people that had a few questions, which were like, for example, what should my target sugar be? And then we spoke about sort of blood sugar testing. And then another lady asked me about, what about diabetes and pregnancy? So then we spoke a little bit about sort of diabetes and pregnancy and how to best manage your pregnancy. For example, if you are planning to fall pregnant and you're diabetic, you're supposed to see your doctor 6 months before trying to conceive, just to make sure that your sugar levels are within range and you're on the right medication, and you're also taking a high dose of folic acid. So even the pharmacist didn't know that bit. She was like, oh really, so you have to do that? So it was just like, it was such a nice event, and I felt like it was so fulfilling for me to spread my knowledge to the community. And I know it's not a massive group, but I felt like I made a difference. I felt like I made a difference to these people who were just like, oh my God, is that real? Oh, is that real? Oh, these people are affected. Oh, like, you know, these ethnic groups are affected. And then we spoke about sort of waist circumferences, and for men and women, and what your waist circumference should be if you want to avoid diabetes. And just the faces of them were like, wow, I didn't know that. And it just felt so rewarding and so fulfilling. And it was such a great event. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And I even got a goodie bag as well from the pharmacy. So sweet of them to give me a gift card, which I was not even expecting whatsoever. I said, you know what, you don't need to give me a gift card. They're like, no, it's your time. But honestly, the pharmacists over there are lovely. I have so much respect for them. They're great at what they do. They're very sweet, very kind. They're very good for their patients. And yeah, they organise this amazing community event. And next month there's going to be another event, and then the next one after that. And I'm really looking forward to kind of collaborating with them some more. And then I finished my session up and I said, you know, I don't just do diabetes, guys. I also do X, Y, and Z. And then I spoke about sort of the other stuff I do, like facial cosmetics, family planning, and also skin checks. And I said to them, you know what? You all need to have a skin check, because 1 out of 2 Australians before the age of 75 is going to get skin cancer. So they were like, oh my gosh, we need to get our skin checked. And it was just so good, like sharing that knowledge. And then I also directed them to my website, of course. I said, you know what, if you've forgotten anything from today, I've got some really good videos out on my YouTube channel, drnora.com, and I can see people like writing in their phones. And yeah, it felt really cool. I felt really happy, really pleased that, yeah, I just felt really fulfilled. I felt like, yeah, I've done something good today. I've done something really good. So if you are a medical student, or if you want to get into doctoring, you know, there is so rewarding. And I have to say, I probably never felt more, I don't know, this is probably a really rewarding day for me, because not only did it all go fantastically well and everything really went like superb, I got a message from my practice manager, and honestly I had no time to check my emails, but then I checked them just at the end now, and the message said, can you call this patient, she wants to thank you. So I thought, what is this about? So anyway, I called the patient just now, and she said to me, oh, I just want to tell you thank you. And I said, well, what's happened? She goes, because of you, she basically had, just to give you a bit of backstory, she had some abnormal blood tests in her liver, and this was back in November when I was looking after her. And I said, you know what, it's a bit odd that you have this, you shouldn't be having this, you're otherwise fit and healthy. So my kind of red flag signals went off. But she's a very stubborn lady in her own way. She said, I'm a nurse, you know, I used to be a nurse and I'm very stubborn. But because I had persisted with her, and she said to me, okay, maybe I should go and do something about this. So I kind of referred her onto the hospital. I got her seeing the right people, and today she called me and she said, you know what, thanks to you, I have had a cancer removed in my body that was rare, and because of you, it didn't spread, because you were the one that persisted on me and you told me to go and do this, go and do that you are the reason that I'm alive now. And you know what, I thought that is so heartwarming. And she was crying on the phone. I thought, oh my God, this is going to make me cry, like seriously. And she goes, because of you, without your persistence, I probably would not, you know, like it would get worse. And it was such a rare cancer that she had. But yeah, and I was just like, thank you, like honestly, I was like, this is really heartwarming. I've even got a tear now in my eye. Like, it's so rewarding to help people and just to be honest with what you're doing. And if you do have any red flags, or if you're worried about anything, you just refer them or you get them further treatment. Yeah, I had a great day. I think it's fulfilling. Like, being a doctor is a very fulfilling job. I hope that I can always continue this and to be up to date with my medical knowledge. Of course, it's always a life journey. You're always learning, you're always educating yourself. In fact, this Thursday I'm going to another event out of hours just to go and learn up on my women's health, because that's also very important. So yeah, it's a never-ending educational job, but when you're in it, it is so fulfilling, it is so rewarding, and it might be hard. The studying is hard, like it is brutally hard. The training is hard, but it's worth it in the end. And honestly, keep up whatever you're doing in terms of studying, whether it's medicine, whether it's anything, whether it's nursing, dietitian, like you're doing a great job, even if it's not medically related, just keep it up. You will reap your rewards. So that is just all from me. Of course I was seeing my other patients as well, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, that's all from me for now. Just wanted to share that day with you. Love you all, and I want to say take care and stay healthy.